gonna be trying to figure out how to attach that head of the motor right there, because I have the turning kit assembly going to the back, and that could turn, but I still have to reach behind to throttle whenever I want to go somewhere. So I'm thinking I'm gonna extend the wires all the way to here, and probably gonna put a box right here or something, like some sort of an electrical box, and then yeah, I'm gonna run the switch, because I know this, I've watched some YouTube videos on this thing, and I know it has a switch in there, and I've seen some people do some pretty cool things with it. So I'm gonna take whatever ideas they have and try and make it work for me, because I already have this installed, so I'm sure I could just get it on the back there and it'll work good. See what I could do. So I have this 10 gauge wire. Just have to open this up. There's a switch in there, I know. So I'm gonna open that up, and I'm gonna see what size the switch is, so I can go buy a box the right size that's gonna fit on that board. And yeah, I'm gonna see once I open up how big it is. What it looks like on the inside. I'm gonna unscrew this and take this out, and then we'll get a better look. This is what it looks like when it's out. I'm gonna find some sort of knob to put on there and fit this in a box. And I'm just gonna have it as a turning thing right here. So I went and unplugged all of them. It's nice because each of them are labeled battery negative, battery positive, and then black, yellow, red, and white. It's pretty easy. Seems pretty simple. So now I'm just gonna take a little measurement, find a knob for this bad boy. I'm gonna extend these wires into the front here. I'm gonna make it so they fit all the way up to here, and then yeah, hopefully this will work. Okay, so I did a couple measurements. I'm just going to go to the store to pick up some of these and some male connectors like these connectors, and I'm gonna pick up a box for this thing. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so now I just have to take this head off. And I was gonna cut these wires in half, but I talked to my dad, and came up with the idea of instead of cutting it, I got these connectors. I'm just gonna connect it to the end of each of those wires. That way I just have to plug it in, and it's a lot less work. So, and I got this box here. I'm gonna have the switch in. It's gonna be right here on the back, like that. And picked up these barbecue switches at Canadian Tire. Everything I got at Canadian Tire here. And yeah, got these bends. I'm gonna see I have two different sizes. I'm gonna have these at the top with the wires running out. So I'm gonna start putting these things together. Moved everything over just so I could work in the shade. It's getting pretty hot out here. This is the power cable. I've already made a mod on these so it can connect straight to my battery. This I did before I even started this channel. And then these connectors at the end, it'll all be plug and play. It'll be super easy. I won't have to solder today, so that's nice. This is what it looks like with all the wires exposed. So now the work to do is I'm gonna cut these wires both in half. I'll have 4 lengths of 5 feet. And then I'm just gonna put the connectors on the end. Female and a male. Female could go onto these connectors. The male could go onto these over here. I'm gonna test if these these are just barbecue knobs. I'm gonna see if it works on the switch here, because I'm gonna put them on this. Fits like a glove. Just put this on, and then perfect. All right, let's get this started. So I bought 10-foot wire. Each one is 10 foot. I'm going to measure at 5 feet. I'm gonna take my measuring tape, measure at 5 feet. I'm gonna cut it with my clippers, and then on each end I'm going to crimp it with the tool, with these things, and then should be it for this part. I'm gonna do that right now. So I got a little clamp here, clamp down this wire. Take the ends off, each end. See that there? So my ends are exposed. I'm going to take a male connector. I'm going to put this in here. Alright, just enough to reach the end. I'm going to crimp it. I have 10 gauge wire. I'm using a 10 gauge, so I'm going to put it in the 10 gauge. So I got my male connector. I'm going to put female connector. And just do the same thing. Now I got my 2 connections. These are going to plug in here and into the switch. Okay, I just got to do that 3 more times. Okay, so now I got all my wires done. They'll have female and male connectors on the end. Now I'm going to start working on this box. So now I'm going to fit this into here. I'm going to do some measurements for the lid. So I'm going to cut the lid so that it can be flush with this right here. Okay, so I found my points. I'm just going to drill in, and then I'm going to Dremel to get it to fit. Just trying to find the shape of it. I'm going to line it up with the line that I drew, and I'm just going to find the shape. So now I have the approximate shape of it. While there, I'm going to Dremel that out, and here. There we go. Now that fits all the way. It's snug, nice and snug. It has a little bit of wiggle, but I can fix that. I got my wires, I got my plugs, everything. Brought my battery out. I'm gonna do a test just to see if it works. So now, plug everything in. I'm just gonna run it through and then plug it into the power source. So now I'm going to plug it in. I've plugged it in. Put this bad boy on. This on. It works. Just 5 speeds up. There we go. It works. Perfect. Probably gonna silicone in here. I was gonna do something in here to make it so this would be sealed easily, but the wires push it up enough, so I don't really need to put anything underneath to push it up or glue it too much. I'm gonna glue in here though, because I need to be waterproof. I'm gonna silicone in here once I get everything figured out exactly when it's gonna go. And I just need to attach it right here on this thing. And I'm gonna get all these wires. I'm gonna make them look nice. I'm gonna put them all together in a thing that'll contain them and protect them. So now it works. I just need to make everything look good and function easily. And once I'm done, it'll be super simple. That's gonna be connected to my motor, and then that is gonna just connect straight into my battery. It's gonna power everything, and I'll be able to turn. So my turning and my power are all gonna be connected to the motor. So what we did just now is we just heated this up, attached this here, so that I could have a bend. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna plug this, I think later. I'm gonna probably put something in there, try and get it plugged. That way it'll be sealed. Won't have any rain getting in. And then, yeah, I'm gonna start plugging these. I labeled all these. That way I know which one's which. And after I get this done, then I'm gonna finish the switch and everything, and all of this will be perfect. Okay, so right now I'm just doing some finishing touches. I'm put a bunch of this wire protector around. I'm still kind of trying to get it all the way around. I was also fixing a bit of the Dremel because the switch was tilted a little bit to the side. But for the most part, we're getting there.
You're just gonna put it right here?
Just right here. And then put some extended off the bottom. Okay, so right now I just have this curing silicone. It looks like shit, but I might put a cap on it after. I have it clamped there so it holds it kind of in place, but what I did was I stuck two foam things, one deeper in, one a little closer up to the top, siliconed around, so there won't be any cracks. It's gonna move, so it might crack up a bit, but I might do something after to cap it off. And then all there is left to do is put this box, attach it to here, and then it should be good. I stuffed some foam in there. I'm gonna silicone that up. I siliconed all around the edges and inside there, and everything's looking good. Everything works. I'm happy with it. All right, everything is done. Everything connected over here. So what we did was at the end here, actually attached these holders, these wire holders, because these wires were bending outwards a lot while I was using it, which was making it harder to turn. But now that's all attached. This is attached here to the back, so I could use it. Got all 5 speeds here. It's actually, I don't know if you can tell, it's running right now. And then all the way back down is to off, and reverse 3 speeds, and then off. And it works. It turns. It's running right now. You can turn. Everything's working good. So that's a pretty easy way to honestly set everything up. I didn't need to splice any wires, nothing. These wires are connected right here, wrapped up in tape, and then put a shrink wrap on them, and then everything just connects into there. And then there's connectors even in there, so it's pretty simple. I didn't really have to cut anything, and if I wanted to, I could just put the head back on. The head is still here, everything's intact, and I could just put that back on and then just disconnect the wires the way it is and then put them back in there. So there's nothing permanent here. Just the way, like the way I didn't attach this to anything, screw anything into my kayak. Everything is disassemblable, and yeah, it's pretty simple, honestly, the way it is. I'm pretty happy with it. It works, and I can't wait to try it out. So that's it.